Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of January 23rd and 24th of 2016. I'm Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. This is the last weekend of my online class sale where you can get all classes from beginning to expert about astrology for only $75. All 4 classes, 8.5 hours of classes. Download it now at inclusiveastrology.com. But before we take a look at all the planets, let's take a look at the Leo King planet energy meter to understand where all the energy is for your weekend. And I am sending you lots of great energy. I am sending you tons of love and light. And I'm hoping that you have an awesome and amazing and spectacular, awesome full moon weekend. And I am putting the energy meter at the extreme position. Whoop, 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 whoop. That is because a full moon in Leo is happening. That's a big deal on itself. But a full moon in Leo, while we have this intense Mercury station on top of Pluto. And so what does that mean? Well, number one, let's just talk about the full moon in Leo first. The sun's in Aquarius at its detriment, which means the sun's not at its, greatest position. It's opposite of Leo where the sun rules. The sun rules life, vitality, fun, and excitement, and kind of doing what, makes you happy, right? But Aquarius is where we kind of learn to disconnect, and we learn to help others, and we learn to disconnect from our kind of kingdoms, and we learn to be out there and spread the love. So it's a kind of an odd aspect, right? When you have a full moon in Leo, because here's our emotions on the high, red, positive, loving Leo aspect, wanting to have fun. Yet the sun's in Aquarius that learns to kind of cool things down, kind of be a little cool and disconnected, not overly show maybe a little bit passion. That's why you always see every Aquarius, they act a little bit cooler than they really, they don't want to express themselves too much. It's kind of why Obama has an Aquarius rising, but he's a Leo. You always see him act real cool and calm, but underneath he's that Leo and, dancing on Ellen and, shows his Leo aspect. That's kind of what this weekend is. It's like, okay, I want to do all this in my life and I have all these passions and I have this extreme energy and this extreme part of myself that wants to explore my heart and really go for the fire in my life. But there's this deeper aspect, I think, where we're trying to understand how we're going to make that heart happen. This is a Mercury retrograde stopping this weekend because this is the last weekend of Mercury retrograde. Woo! Thank God for that, right? I think we've all been through a really crazy 3 weeks here of really positive stuff. I'll be honest, I think that this was a positive Mercury retrograde, but I also think at the same time, this Mercury retrograde really kind of exposed maybe a lot as far as your path and what you're going to have to make new big decisions in your life with. And this one's on top of Pluto. And so this is a final activation weekend where here's the full moon in Leo, really highlighting your heart, really opening up things. It's going to be making really positive aspects, I think, this weekend because Uranus and Saturn are in fire signs. And it's going to connect with these this weekend, which is really about courage now. Do you have the courage to get on this exciting trail that the universe, or maybe it's not too exciting trail, I'll be honest, that maybe you're going to have to be more excited about? This weekend is about, are you ready to really do it or not? This is the end of the Mercury retrograde because on Sunday, Mercury goes stationary. Monday it goes stationary direct, which means Sunday into Monday is the end of the Mercury retrograde, all while the full moon's in Leo. And this is highlighting do you love this path? Do you love these big things that have come your way? It's almost like it's coming to this spot right now. Mars and Juno conjuncting in Scorpio. Some people have been putting out that this is twin flame stuff coming together. I believe that this is really about twin identities that are more towards really accomplishing your deeper inner wants and needs and really going and being kind of the leaders that I think we're looking for. This is more of like twins from other dimensions, let's say, like, finding another Palladian that you've been a Palladian with in a past or future life and connecting with them or so forth. Like, this is more, I think, like teammate kind of energy whenever you deal with Mars and Juno, opposed to where Venus and Juno is a little bit more of a romantic kind of thing. But with Mars, there could be kind of a sexual aspect of it, especially when it's in Scorpio. So kind of look for the sexual connections this weekend, and especially with a full moon in Leo wanting romance, this could be a weekend of really introducing a relationship into your life, especially as Venus leaves Sagittarius and comes into Capricorn this weekend. I mean, you cannot get any more perfect in the ballet that's happening where we get really serious about relationships, who we really want next to us. I said in my Uncut this week, who's really on the red carpet? Are you sure it's not a hag? It's like who represents you the right way and who is really in alignment with the kind of person that you are. It's kind of difficult to get in a relationship with somebody if they're really not in alignment with your kind of identity, alignment with your life. And I think this weekend, not only in relationships, but in projects and in big decisions in our life as far as career and where we're going, this weekend is the culmination point where we're either all yes or we're all no. Because I think as we come into next week, it's on. The universe is throwing us all these things that it's shown over the last 3 weeks. The universe is throwing things very intensely. And this weekend is the major revealing of what you love, what you're trying to be disconnected and cool and figure out. But more importantly, with this Mercury retrograde on top of Pluto squaring Uranus, do you have the courage? Are you sure that you really want to go on this? And what have you deeply revealed inside of yourself that makes you go, yes, I can do this, I want to do this, and I'm not going to fear the energy coming into it. You can definitely do it. This is definitely a positive weekend, but this is a weekend where you have to be very careful about what choices you're making because these ones are going to sit for a long time. Card of the weekend is the King of Rods reversed. Definitely a weekend teaching you on how to become your own king in your life. A Leo king. Oh, I'm sorry. But teaching you to be king, teaching you to own your value, teaching you to own your self-love, teaching you to own the master of your heart. And I think if you don't know how to master your heart, it's going to come out extremely this weekend. If you're depressed because of a breakup, you're depressed because something hasn't worked out, you got to realize in life that the only thing that you truly can love is yourself. Of course, I also believe God, same thing, and I put God first. But I believe that loving yourself here on earth, beside that love of God, that is the number one thing you must pay attention to, is loving thyself and knowing how to love yourself, to know the decisions and where you're going in your life, and if it's truly in alignment with the true love that you deserve for yourself. Thanks so much for all the support. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I forgot to mention, spiritualdancemusic.com. I'm doing it at 5:30 p.m. Pacific for the full moon on Saturday. Watch it, spiritualdancemusic.com. It'll be streaming on YouTube or 8:30 p.m. Pacific on YouTube and spiritualdancemusic.com for Saturday. I should have put that at the front, but here it is. I hope you guys watch this, spiritualdancemusic.com. Thanks so much, and I will see you on Monday. If you have the app, get it now, the LeoKingApp.com.